Our experiment name is determination of coefficient of discharge for a small orifice by a constant head method. Right. So this is the experiment name, and we are going to find the coefficient of discharge for the orifice, which is to a tank, which is connected to a tank actually. Right. So before starting our experiment, let us take a small introduction about this orifice. Okay. Right. So already we know what is the purpose of orifice. Orifice is a device which is used for finding or which is used for measuring the discharge of the fluid. Right. So the first experiment which you have seen there, we have found out the coefficient of discharge for the orifice which is connected inside a pipe. But in a flowing pipe, we have connected an orifice which will be like a circular shaped plate with a concentric hole there. That is your orifice in case of your pipes. Right. So if we want to find the discharges in the tanks, suppose if you see this is a tank. So the orifice is nothing but just a small hole created either in the vertical side of the tank or at the bottom, depending upon the position of the tank. Right. Suppose if you see here the tank, here the orifice is at the bottom. Nothing but it is just a hole created to the tank. So what happens? The water will flow from this the hole which is made at the bottom, and by using the formulas, we are going to find the discharge, or we are going to find the coefficient of discharge for the orifice which is kept for this tank. Right. So let us see what is orifice. So orifice, an opening in a vessel or container through which the liquid flows out is known as an orifice. Right. So here we are not giving any other equipment to be fitted to the tank. Just we are making a small hole to the tank, or you can make a small hole at the bottom of the tank or at the side of the tank. As the hole is made, the water which is already exist in the tank will come out through the orifice. Right. So there what we'll do, we'll collect that water in a collecting tank, and we'll take the time taken for the 10 centimeters rise for the collecting tank, and then we can find the discharges. Right. So by finding the discharges, we can calculate the coefficient of discharge. So coefficient of discharge, already you know the formula, that is Q actual by Q theoretical. So Q actual can be calculated by taking the formula Q actual as AH by T, and theoretical discharge in case of this will be calculated by Q theoretical is equals to A naught, nothing but area, cross-sectional area of the orifice, into nothing but Q. Already you know what is Q. Q is equals to discharge, which is area into velocity. Right. So here the water comes with a high velocity. So that velocity V is taken as under root of 2gh. H is nothing but what is the head of water available in the tank. Right. So the theoretical discharge is calculated as area into velocity. Right. So that is Q theoretical is equals to A naught into under root of 2gh. So while seeing the experiment, we can see the formulas for that. Right. So now just we'll take a small introduction. That is this one. The hole or opening is called as orifice. Okay, it may be a hole or it is just an opening for the tanks. So as long as the level of liquid on the upstream side is above the top of the orifice, but until the water is above the orifice hole above, so water can come out. That is the meaning here. The usual purpose of an orifice is the measurement of discharge. Already we know what is the main purpose of orifice or venturimeter, is used for finding the discharge of the flow. So what is the discharge? You can find. So what is discharge means? Rate of flow. How much amount of volume of water is coming out per second is called as discharge. Right. So the orifice may be provided in the vertical side of the vessel or on the base of the vessel. So if you see here, this diagram shows there is an orifice which is kept at the bottom of the tank here. Right. So this is the orifice which is kept at the bottom of the tank. Similarly, for some vessels or containers, the orifice can be placed at the vertical side, but in the side of the tank you can see. In the next image, you can see that. So see here, this is a tank which contains water here, and this is the orifice which is kept here. Okay, so this is called as H for finding the velocity for Q theoretical. This is the head of water above the orifice can be taken. So V is equals to under root of 2gs. We can calculate by using the amount of water above the upstream of your orifice. Okay. So now we will see the types of orifice. So there are many types of orifices depending upon the size, shape, and nature of the discharge. Size means your size of the orifice, and shape of the orifice, and nature of the discharge. So from that, so many are there. From that, with the most important, only some of the important orifices are taken into consideration. So while coming to the types of orifices with respect to size. So first thing with respect to size. So with respect to size, there are two types, that is small orifice and large orifice. Okay, so you can see the definition for the small orifice. If the head of the liquid from the center of orifice is more than 5 times the depth of the orifice, called as small orifice. Nothing but here, if the height of water above the orifice is 5 times more than the depth here, this one. Then that type of orifice which are used are called as small orifice. And if the large orifice, it is nothing but if the head of the liquid is less than 5 times the depth of the orifice, called as large orifice. Nothing but while comparing to head and orifice, the head should be more so that the orifice size will be small. If the head is very small, the orifice size will be larger in size. So that is the meaning here, small orifice and large orifice. Next we have, according to the type of shape of the orifice, shapes, it may be not always be circular only, it can be of different shapes also. The hole which is made here can be different shapes. But mostly we'll use circular orifice because calculation part will become easy for calculation of discharge or coefficient of discharge. Right, according to the size, so shape is circular orifice, rectangular orifice, triangular orifice, or square orifice. Okay, these are the 4 types depending upon the shape of the orifice. Okay. So according to the type of the edge of the orifice, right? So if you see, this is the edge of the orifice. Here it is sharp edge orifice. You can see here, it is sharp edge orifice. This is the sharp edged orifice, and we have square edged orifice. And what you can see here, it is like a square shape. We don't have any inclined part here. So it is called as square edged orifice. And one more type is bell mouth, like this. It is an inclined thing. It starts from here to here, outside to inside. So this is the tank which will be this side. So inside it will be slanted, but this one is outside, it is slanted. Okay. So this is called as sharp edged orifice, bell mounted orifice, mouthed orifice, square edged orifice. So these are the 3 types depending upon the edges of the orifice. And the next is according to the type of discharge. So till now we have seen size, shape, and the edge shape. Now we are seeing the last type, that is according to the type of discharge. So there are 3 types in this. One is free orifice, fully drowned orifice, and partially drowned orifice. Free orifice is nothing but just already we have seen all the orifices without any. There you can see that orifice is not immersed in the fluid from the outside. But if you see here fully and partially drowned orifice, you can see the images down. So here if you see the orifice for the tank which you are seeing is completely immersed in the other side also. So this is called as fully drowned orifice. And if you see here, half of the orifice is filled with water outside also. So that is called as partially drowned orifice. Okay. So these are the 3 types according to the type of discharges. Okay. So these are the important terms which we need to know. So one is jet. Already we know what is a jet. The continuous stream of liquid that comes out of the flow out of an orifice is the jet or jet of water. Right? Since here we are learning about orifice, so that's why we are using the term out of the jet. It is in nozzle also, it is available jet. Continuous stream of liquid coming out from the nozzle is also called as jet. Okay, so since we are learning about orifice, the term orifice is used here for the jet also. Next very important term is vena contracta. So already we have seen this, what is vena contracta there. Sorry, for B section I said it. Right. So what happens when the water is coming from the orifice? You can see here, the water will go like this outside of the orifice, and somewhere what happens, the flow becomes parallel. Right. Later it will become as increasing the cross-sectional area for the flow. So when the liquid passes through the orifice in the form of jet, it lost some energy. It has been thus observed that jet after leaving the orifice get contracted. So after coming out of the orifice, somewhere you can see that the jet is becoming, the diameter of the jet becoming very small there, but it is contracted there. So the maximum contraction takes place at a section slightly on the downstream side of the orifice. But after coming out of the nozzle, somewhere out of the orifice, somewhere it will be contracted. So that contracted part is called as, this section is known as vena contracta, where the diameter of the flow will be contracted minimum. There, that section is called as vena contracta. Vena contracta. That word is used as vena contracta, right? Next, one more point is velocity of approach. Velocity of a liquid when it approaches at orifice is called as velocity of approach. Okay, these 2 terms are very important: jet and vena contracta. So next we need to calculate hydraulic coefficients. So till now we have seen coefficient of discharge, coefficient of velocity, coefficient of contraction. So these all whether called as hydraulic coefficients. Okay. So what is the coefficient? Hydraulic coefficient? But just they are the ratio of actual quantity. If it is velocity, ratio of actual velocity. If it is discharge, ratio of actual discharge. That is but actual quantity, velocity, discharge, or anything. Ratio of actual quantity and theoretical quantity is called as hydraulic coefficient. Okay. Suppose if it is coefficient of discharge, it is a ratio of actual discharge to theoretical discharge. That is the meaning. Your quantity represents velocity or discharge anything. Okay. So hydraulic coefficients are nothing but it is a ratio of actual quantity to the theoretical quantity. So here we are in hydraulic coefficients. We have 4 types. There are coefficient of contraction, coefficient of velocity, coefficient of discharge, and coefficient of resistance. This coefficient of resistance we will neglect always, but we need to know what is this coefficient of resistance. One second. Okay, so now we'll see what are these 3-4 terms: coefficient of contraction, coefficient of velocity, coefficient of discharge, and coefficient of resistance. So first we'll see about coefficient of contraction. So here the word contraction came because in our page you can see a term vena contracta. So there we can find the coefficient of contraction. So coefficient of contraction is the ratio of area of jet at vena contracta, which will be smaller than compared to area of the orifice. Right? So area, the ratio of area of the jet at vena contracta, nothing but where the jet diameter becomes minimum, that part, that section is called as vena contracta. So at that place, we know that area of the cross section will be very small compared to area of the orifice. Right? So the ratio of area of the jet at vena contracta to the area of the orifice is known as coefficient of contraction. Right? In today's experiment, what we are seeing, there we are only calculating coefficient of discharge only. But if you want to calculate coefficient of contraction, we need to know where the AC also we need to know. But area of the vena contracta we need to know. Right. So CC is nothing but coefficient of contraction is equals to AC by A, where AC is the area of the jet at vena contracta and small a is the area of the orifice. Next, the value of the coefficient of contraction varies slightly within the available head of the liquid size and the shape. So averagely, you can see the CC is about 0.64. Coefficient of contraction will get around 64%, 0.64. So this is the coefficient of contraction, which is the ratio of area of the jet at vena contracta to the area of the orifice. Next, we need to know about coefficient of velocity. So coefficient of velocity, the ratio of actual velocity of the jet at vena contracta to the theoretical velocity is known as coefficient of velocity. So again, at the vena contracta, we need to know the velocity. So for knowing the velocity, if we know the area of the vena contracta, we can find the VA, that's where vena contracta V, that is by using continuity equation, Q equal to A into V. So if you know the discharge, you can find the velocity also there. So CV is known as ratio of actual velocity of jet at vena contracta to the theoretical velocity of the jet. So that is given by the formula VA by under root of 2GH. So where VA is the velocity at vena contracta. So the value of C will be in the range of 0.952. This is CV. CV is taken in the range of 0.95 to 0.99. The ratio of actual velocity of the jet of the vena contracta to the theoretical velocity is known as coefficient of velocity. Next, coefficient of discharge. This one everybody know because in almost all the experiments we are finding the coefficient of discharge. The ratio of actual discharge through an orifice to the theoretical discharge is known as coefficient of discharge. So CD is nothing but coefficient of discharge, which is Q actual by Q theoretical. So this is in terms of velocities and areas, or you can take CD is nothing but CV into CC also. right? So why? Because QA can be written as velocity A, nothing but actual velocity into area of the orifice divided by Q theoretical, velocity theoretical into area. That is VA by VT into AC by A. So already we know VA by VT is nothing but coefficient of velocity. AC by A is coefficient of contraction. So we can write CD is equals to product of coefficient of velocity into coefficient of contraction. Next we have coefficient of resistance. The ratio of, so it is the ratio of loss of head, that is kinetic head loss in the orifice to the head of water available at the exit of the orifice is known as coefficient of resistance. Nothing but it is the ratio of loss of kinetic energy to the actual kinetic energy. So the formulas, these are the formulas: Cc square, that is coefficient of contraction square, minus Cd square divided by Cd square gives the coefficient of resistance denoted by Cr. The loss of head in the orifice takes place because the walls of the orifice offer some resistance to the liquid as it comes out. Right. So whenever the water is flowing through the tank or the pipe, what happened? There will be some frictional losses. So there will be some resistance offered by the orifice. So there will be some losses of the kinetic energy. So that is the meaning of this coefficient of resistance. So the coefficient of resistance is generally neglected while solving the numerical problems because we cannot find directly the how much amount of energy is lost without going the friction factor. Right. So this is the 4 types of hydraulic coefficients which you have seen: coefficient of contraction, coefficient of velocity, coefficient of discharge, and coefficient of resistance. So next we'll see how we'll do the experiment in the laboratory method for the hydraulic coefficients for different coefficients by experimental method. Okay, so what we'll do, let us consider a tank like this containing water, maintained with some water in that, and a hole or an orifice is here. So this CC line represents the vena contracta's position, CC. Okay. Right. So if you see the diagram, you can understand this is a head of water above your orifice, constant water, that is called as constant water head above the orifice. And here this X and Y are the distances of the certain point. We are considering a point here. So from this point, what is the distance of X from the vena contracta will be given as X direction as X length, and in vertical height direction, it is taken as Y. Okay, so from vena contracta, we are considering. And remember, this vena contracta will be always very close to your orifice. Right, so these X and Y are taken for finding the velocity of the fluid, velocity of the jet. So we know that Y equal to half GT square. That formulas are there here for finding the V value. So after solving this equation for finding the coefficient of velocity, we'll get CV equal to X by under root of 4 into Y by H, where X is the horizontal distance from the vena contracta to a point which we are considered, and where Y is the vertical distance from the vena contracta to the point which are considered on the jet, and H is the head of water. Okay. Similarly, if you are going to find the coefficient of discharge, this is already known to us. Coefficient of discharge, that is Q actual by Q theoretical. Q theoretical can be taken as area of the orifice into velocity. Q theoretical is area into velocity. So area of the orifice into velocity is at the root of 2gh. Okay, so Q actual we will be calculating from the experimental setup, that is AH by T or AR by T. Next, coefficient of contraction, we can calculate. We have coefficient of discharge and coefficient of velocity. Okay, so this is a formula for calculating coefficient of contraction. So first we need to find coefficient of discharge and coefficient of velocity. Then if you take the ratio of coefficient of discharge and coefficient of velocity, we get the coefficient of contraction. Okay, now actually this is not required for our experiment, but we can know what is there in this. So discharge through a small rectangular orifice, if you are taking through a small rectangular shaped orifice, so this will be the formula for calculating the discharge of the orifice if it is a rectangular shape, that is CD into area of the rectangle into 2gh. Okay, so area of the rectangle can be taken as breadth into length into breadth or B into D. This is already known, velocity under root of 2gh is nothing but q is equals to cd into area into velocity at the rectangular orifice. If the size of the rectangle is very large, the equation will be like this: q equal to 2 by 3 into cd into breadth of the tank, breadth of the rectangle into under root of 2g. H will be taken in terms of like this: h2 to the power of 3 by 2 minus h1 to the power of 3 by 2. So here h1 and h2 will be here shown here. Here, since the rectangular size is very big, we'll get h1 as this height and h2 as this height. So that's why we take the difference of this h1 and h2 values here in terms of power 3 by 2. And similarly, if the discharge of the flow, if it is ground orifice, but if the orifice is immersed like this in the tank, how we will find the discharge is the formula q equal to cd into b into h2 minus h1 into 2gh. Again, same thing here, h1 is this one, h2 is the height of the water with respect to the base of the rectangle. Next, discharge through partially drowned orifice, but only half or some part of the orifice is immersed in the fluid at both the sides. So at that time, the discharge equation becomes q equal to 2 by 3 into cd p under root 2g into h2 power 3 by 2 minus h1 power 3 by 2. Okay, these are all not required actually, but just for showing, I have shown you all these things. If it is of rectangle shape, this will be as equations for calculating the discharge, which will be very difficult for calculating actually. So that's why mostly we are calculating the discharges in the tanks by using the circular orifice only. Okay. So the circular orifice will give the calculation part easily to find the discharges, because everywhere we are going to find only discharge of the tank or discharge of the flowing fluid in the pipe. So better we can use circular orifice, which makes our calculation part easy and which will save the time for calculation. Okay. So this is something about your orifice. If the orifice is to the tank, connected to the tank, but we are going to find the coefficient of discharge when the orifice is connected to the tank, not to the pipe. In between the pipe, we are not using. It is connected to the tank. Okay, just wait for 1 minute. I will
Sorry, you are muted.
Sir, you muted yourself.
Sorry. Okay. So this is the experiment 5. Please write down in the observation notes, take out your observation notes, and please keep your calcs also with you for the calculation part. And first write down the name of the experiment and aim of the experiment. So the name is determination of coefficient of discharge. Determination of coefficient of discharge for a small orifice by a constant head method. Then write down the aim to determine the coefficient of discharge for the given orifice. So for finding the coefficient of discharge, we need to know the discharge theoretical as well as actual discharge. Actual discharge and theoretical discharge we need to calculate first. Then we can find the coefficient of discharge as the ratio of actual to the theoretical discharge. Okay, please write down this in your observation notes. Right. So after writing this, so first I'm showing you the image of the experimental setup which is available in our college lab. So this is the experimental setup for this experiment. So this is the orifice which is connected to the tank, this tank, supply tank. Assume that it is a supply tank, right? And so before starting the experiment, always first we need to fill the reservoir tank. This one, this is called as your reservoir tank for the supplying the water into the tanks here. Okay. So there will be a pump arrangement given from the reservoir tank to the supply tank to fill this tank, right? So after that, if you can see for the tank, the orifice is connected here. This side inside you can see an orifice, very small hole is kept here. So it is the orifice connected. So what happens when we fill the tank, the water also comes out through this orifice here. So I have said you for calculation of coefficient of velocity, CV equal to x by under root of 4yh. Formula I have shown you already in the introduction. So for finding that x value and y value, there is one scale arrangement given here. So this is the thing which is used for finding the x value. So you can see here, this pointer can be moved in x direction like this. So x position can be found out by moving this towards the horizontal scale. And similarly, with this vertical also, we can move the scale in the vertical side. So this pointer will connect to any one point of the water coming from the jet coming from the nozzle. Somewhere you can see. So while doing the experiment, while seeing the video, you can understand what is that. Right. So, but our experiment aim is to find only coefficient of discharge. Suppose if you want coefficient of velocity also, at that time only we can use this for finding x and y value. So for now for us, I think it is not required because we are going to find only coefficient of discharge. Okay. But I will show how to calculate that x and y values also. Right. So now we'll see the parts of the experimental setup. So the reservoir tank is here and a pump will be here available for supplying water from here to this. This is called a supply tank here. Nothing but for this tank only we are calculating what is the coefficient of discharge for the orifice connected to the tank. So this tank is called the supply tank. And here you can see there is an arrangement of transparent tube here for taking the head value, constant head. We need to take a constant head. But when you are filling the tank, the water should be constant here as the water continuously flow out from the orifice. As you fill the water will be coming out from the orifice. But you should maintain such a way that even the water coming out from the orifice, the level of the water doesn't change. So that is the term used as constant head method here. Constant head method. So the water head, nothing but height of water should not change, even the water coming out from the nozzle. In that way, we need to arrange the discharge of the water coming from this pump to the supply tank. So we need to regulate the valve such that always the water level inside the tanks remains constant when the water even coming from the orifice outside. So that's why it is called as constant head method. Okay, that will take more time when you're doing the experiment for making these as constant. Okay, so while seeing the experiment, you can understand it. So after that, what you'll do, first thing we'll see is the water is maintained constant here. Even the water comes from the nozzle, from the orifice out. Then what we'll do, the water which is coming out from the orifice will be collected in our collecting tank. So in the collecting tank, again a setup will be there for finding the how much amount of water is filling here. So the time taken for filling the collecting tank, 10 centimeters height will be calculated here again for calculating the discharge value. 2 equal to AH by T will be used for calculating the discharge value here. Okay. right? So now we'll see the experimental video first, then we'll go for the calculation. Okay, so this one diagram I will give you in here. I will give you the diagram also to be drawn in the record later, not now. If you have record at present, you can write, otherwise you can write at the later when they are in form. Okay, so this is the experimental setup which we have. Okay, so now let us see the video. So just to see the video, I will explain at the same time. Okay, so this is our supply tank. See here. The water level is adjusted, and this is our RFS where the water continuously flows through this, and this is our collecting tank. Okay, so by using this cube, we can see the water level in the tank, how much amount of water is filled in the tank. So we should maintain the tank level constant. Until it becomes constant, we should wait. See here, now the water starts filling the tank. Supply tank will be filled. So we need to wait. See here, it started filling here.